Self-control, the definition of self-control. I love this. This is really going to mess some stuff up. The control of one's emotions, feelings, mental desires, wishes, longings, agitations, actions, acts, and manners. One more time. The control of one's emotions, control of feelings, mental desires, wishes, longings, agitations, actions, acts, and manners. Now let's break this down. Control. First, what is control? Control is to exercise the authority or influence over something or over someone. It is the power to manage something, to direct or dominate. All right? What is self? Self is self-explanatory. Self is self, individuality, oneself. So let's put together. Control, self. To have authority over self. Yeah. Now let's put this in practice. I have a conversation with you, Judy, and I asked you, do you have control? You said, I have self-control. That basically, you're telling me that you have authority over your actions, your desires, your thoughts, and your emotions. And also for you to say, I have self-control, this is not conditional, nor is it based on time.
Right.
So if you say I have self-control, that is not just I have self-control Monday through Friday. Right. That is just on self-control just until midnight and then I'm just losing. That's not control. To say I have self-control, it is broad without span of time.
Right.
Jerry, let's say I have a conversation with you and you say I don't have self-control. Watch this. To say I don't have self-control means someone or something has stripped you of your ability to restrain yourself. All right? That's one aspect. Or someone or something has been authorized to dominate, manage, and have power over your emotions, desires, and actions.
Right.
One more time. For you to say, I don't have self-control means someone was authorized to have authority over your emotions, your actions, your desires, agitations. That's if you don't have self-control. So the question now is, let me ask you, is your control conditional? Is your self-control based on your circumstances? Is your self-control based on the people you're around? You have to be around specific people in order to have self-control. If your self-control, Joe, is based on you being around the right people, your control is conditional.
Right.
Because all the devil got to do is send someone who is outside of the barriers of your self-control. Which is why the devil will always have a foothold over your neck, because there's always a kryptonite. There's someone who has the ability to break you out of your own box. Someone has been authorized with the authority to dictate and determine your emotions, your thoughts, and your actions. Go ahead.
I was reading this book in the Power of Words. It was saying how we have power over what we speak, and like let's say for instance, like we say, oh, I'm irritated or whatever. Yeah. Like sooner or later, it's gonna happen. Like it might not happen right then and there, but you're setting yourself up for that. So like one day I remember I was telling Jess, oh my God, you just irritate me. Like that's just irritating. Stop. Like that's a pet peeve. And then he went to scripture and he showed me like we're not supposed to be like that. So it goes back to like having self-control. And like you said, it's like I was talking to her this morning. We got on the same bus, and I was like, it's crazy how one person can have control over me. And she was just looking like, I said, it was like me going back to school, so I was telling her how my mom really just like, if my mom's not happy, it really makes me upset. But she was just telling me, she was like, sis, like, you don't let that bother you, you know what I mean? So I told her, like, it's just crazy how today I said, no, like, my birthday coming up tomorrow, I'm not about to let nobody get to me. I'm about to do this, I'm gonna go to school for me.
Right, because you said tomorrow her birthday. What about after your birthday?
No, it's a change for myself. I said, okay, I'm not looking. It's a change for myself.
No, we understand that. We were just setting up where how often it's easy for us. Yeah. Subconsciously, it's my birthday.
Yeah, so let me get
your birthday wasn't tomorrow. We just had that same conversation.
Right. I would, because I'm tired of pleasing people. People pleasing.
You don't know that. You can't say
people
that.
pleasing.
Well, the reason why you can't say that is because there's already a set time of your birthday.
Right.
You already are locking your brain.
It's my birthday. So
it's your birthday. But if we went back last week and it wasn't your birthday, you would have said that.
Right. You're right.
Right. And we all have been there. Yeah. It's not a highlight you. And it's to understand that conditional self-control is not true self-control.
That's true.
Watch this. It is controlled control.
Oh.
That's tight. I like that.
It's controlled control.
That's
Conditional
tight.
control.
It's like we have
That's tight. It's having control over the control. Wow.
conditional phrases.
Let me give me the
Conditional phrasers is based on the atmosphere's environment. It's the same thing.
Right.
So if we are conditional, then who is our puppeteer?
Yeah. He can trigger whenever we want.
Yeah.
Right.
We want to.
Yep.
What if by chance the enemy, if he is someone's puppeteer, Mike, if he can stimulate you in church, what makes you think he can't stimulate you outside?
Come on
church?
now.
That's good.
It's very interesting because if again, we're talking about the authority over your actions, emotions, decisions, and choices. That is in church and outside the church. So how you can be sitting in church and you have a bad attitude. The church didn't change your attitude. Your environment didn't change your attitude. Because if you're conditional, no matter what happens in church, you ain't gonna move because you are still attached to your emotion.
Right.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right on.
So there needs to be an understanding first off on control. Okay, control is authority. Okay, we all know in Genesis chapter 2, we have all been birthed with authority.
Right.
It is embedded in our DNA.
Right.
The Lord told Adam, subdue, rule over, have dominion over. But here's something interesting, Jared. The Lord never had a conversation to Adam on how to rule himself. He always talked about rule the land, subdue the land. And the reason why, Joe, he didn't have a conversation with Adam about himself is because Adam didn't need self-control. But he needed it after he had someone who had the ability to compromise Adam out of control.
Wow.
Sheesh.
This is why you gotta be mindful of who you are connected with.
That's dope.
Notice what the Lord calls them covenant partners. Who you are covenant with, your accountability partners.
Oh, God.
Someone who has got to have your heart. Otherwise, they will always be in a position to be your manipulator and be able to be your puppeteer.
Come on.
The Lord never had a conversation with Adam because he didn't need it. After he gave Eve, Lord had the covenant with Adam. Eve got distracted from the serpent. Who distracted Adam?
Eve.
Eve.
Yeah.
Notice the serpent used Eve as a secret agent to compromise Adam out of his authority.
Hey, look at this.
And so now we lose self-control
Got him on that.
before we even thought of what control was.
But that's not only in a relationship. That goes back to
Oh,
what we
for
talked
sure.
about last week. Like that's for the friendship too.
I'm with you.
People that you're connected with.
I'm with you.
You know, if
Your
they're
circle.
yeah, the circle is the people you're around.
Oh,
That's
my
what I'm saying. That's what we're
goodness.
talking about. Association, connections. I wish we
good.
managed the conversation of haters more right.
That's crazy. That's true.
Because generalizing haters, because in actuality, if he says love your neighbor as you love yourself,
Yep.
you put them all in the same box.
Right.
Everyone is not hating on you.
Right.
Consider if you got a spirit, someone may be hating on your spirit.
Right.
Yep.
So there has to be a conversation of there has to be more of, how can I say, a sensitive conversation on dealing with people.
Got it.
Yeah.
On dealing with people.
Yeah.
This is what messed me up. Jesus has 12 disciples, and one of them is Judas, and he never went off on him once.
Right.
And he knew he was the one who was going to backstab him.
Yeah, constantly.
Don't you dare tell me that we can't have self-control. Don't you dare- Hold up. If Jesus could be tempted in the wilderness,
Right.
we know he's all man but all God.
Right. Yeah.
There is always an opportunity to be susceptible to emotions, but he never fed into it. Why?
Can't
Because he knew his
yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
Your responsibility after you leave tonight is to connect, watch your check and your connection, and you recognize the purpose of why they're in your life. Ooh! When you recognize and identify the purpose,
That's
good.
dope.
then you'll be able to manage your own self-control.
Someone
Make sense?
Oh my goodness.